Hey guys, just a really quick intro into this video. I'm going to be giving my personal thoughts on the very first episode of I'm a Celeb. I've been watching this for years, I love it, and I cannot wait to make this little video series about every episode of the show. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, and if you like the idea of these videos, do let me know by clicking on that big thumbs up button. Also, let me know down below who is your current favourite campmate. The 10 contestants. Firstly, you have Caitlyn Jenner, who is apparently the highest paid person to enter the jungle. She is 70. She is obviously known for being in the Kardashian-Jenner family. Next, there's Kate. Was surprised to see her. Honestly, I didn't think it'd be her sort of thing. We'll see how she does. I'm not entirely sure. Next is Ian. From what we saw of him in the first episode, he was really encouraging and sweet and a little scared of things, but I think they were all gonna kind of get over that later on in the series, just like everyone else normally does. Then there was Andrew. He was constantly telling jokes and was a good giggle. He did well. He played his part. He was encouraging. I did think it was funny when he about jumped a mile out of the car when they saw that giant spider. Jacqueline, again, she has kids at home. She does Herbalife. I do Herbalife. I'm a part of her team. I'll have my website linked down below. Feel free to leave comments or message me on my social media to find out more about Herbalife. But getting back to I'm a Celeb, I think she's doing great. I think she conquered more of her fears than she thought she could, and she seems to not always be so impressed with the boys' jokes, so we'll see how quickly they get on her nerves. Then there's Nadine. She seems like the baby of the group, honestly. She seems like a crier. I think she's really going to struggle with the trials. I obviously understand her fear of skydiving. She's going to try everything. Anything she's voted for, I think Nadine's gonna go for it full-heartedly, but do I think she might be the crier of the group? She might be the one that struggles a lot, I think so. Then you have Miles, bless him, he was very sweet. He seems fast and funny. He seems like a group player, and so I think he's gonna be good at keeping morale up on the campsite. Adele seemed really sweet and funny. I think she's gonna continue to be that sort of spirit, and she was honest while being competitive, but still being kind and generous. Roman seems a little shy, bless him. He's willing to try anything, but he seemed very unsure about what he got himself into. So hopefully over the next several episodes we'll see him sort of grow into himself a little bit more. Then you had James, the rugby player. For a big guy, he jumped out of that car when they saw that spider really quickly. Caitlyn, James and Ian all being in the same camp, which was the losers camp, and being able to talk about sports and sort of how they got where they are today was good for them all, and it was good for their bonding, and they felt like they had somebody they could rely on, which I think was great for them, really. So if we're going to talk about sort of the trials and what they had to do, first five, James, Kate, Nadine, Roman, Ian, all had to swim across from the yacht to the island to meet the other five, which were Caitlyn, Andrew, Jacqueline, Adele and Miles, and whoever got there first got to pick their pairs. I don't actually know which order they went in. Ian and Jacqueline were together, Miles and Roman were together, James and Jacqueline were together, Adele and Nadine, Kate and Andrew were together, and they were then split up. So Caitlyn and James, Nadine and Adele went off and they did their own trial, and then Jacqueline and Ian, Miles and Roman and Kate and Andrew all went off to do the plank trial. So during the plank they had to walk along this plank with a sort of a rocker in the middle, and then they had to climb down a ladder and press a button when a light came on. Whoever pressed it the fastest became the first power couple. So the first power couple ended up being Miles and Roman. Jacqueline and Ian went first, and he was really supportive. Jacqueline was terrified. You could tell she was terrified, but she did a really good job, bless her. Kate was also someone who was terrified, but on this occasion she just got on with it. She panicked a little bit, but she did it. As for what Caitlyn and Nadine had to do was they had to skydive out of a helicopter, while their teammates, which were James and Adele, had to row a canoe to a different location to pick up their teammate, and they then had to take keys and collect their stars, and whoever had the quickest time got to be the second power couple. And so James and Caitlyn did it in around 8 minutes, and Nadine and Adele, who became the second power couple, did it in around 3.5 minutes. The two power couples, Adele and Nadine, and Miles and Roman, got in a helicopter and were flown out to their luxury main camp, while the losers had to get into a jeep which had giant spiders in them. Everybody but Caitlin freaks out and jumps out of the jeep, and Caitlin just sits there wondering what they're doing. And so currently my favourite two campmates that I would really like to win from this first episode were Jacqueline Jasa and Caitlyn Jenner. And that brings me to the end of my personal thoughts of the first episode of I'm a Celebrity. If you want to keep up with this series, do click that subscribe button as well as the little notification bell, and I will see you all in the next video.